Award-winning author Jason Reynolds is inspiring the next generation to read and to write. He has written more than a dozen books for young adults, many of which are published by Simon & Schuster, which by now you know is a division of Viacom CBS. Earlier this year, we revealed Reynolds was named the new National Ambassador for Young People's Literature for the Library of Congress. Next month, he's going to start a virtual tour to meet with students across the country. And right now, Hello, Jason Reynolds from Washington, D.C. Good to see you. Listen.
Good to see you, Gail.
Yeah, when this was first announced, I know you had great plans. I know how you love to go out and meet the kids and talk to them face to face. Nobody thought all these months later we would still be dealing with COVID, but here we are. So what's your strategy as you start this tour with connecting with the kids virtually? What you gonna do?
We have to pivot. You know, at the end of the day, you know, honestly, Gail, I think ultimately, if virtual is the way that we have to do it, then that's the way we have to do it. But not doing it at all is not an option.
So what are you going to do to connect with them?
So we're going to do a virtual tour. We're going to still do it as if we were traveling. So the same kinds of places, the same small towns. I'm doing like Beckley, West Virginia, Swansea, South Carolina, Rantoul, Illinois, right? These smaller towns, and we're going to all get on our digital platforms, and we're still going to run the campaign and the platform the way that we had originally planned, right? An open interview, lots of discourse, giving the kids an opportunity to tell me about their towns and what they're proud about, and really create a human moment even through a digital sphere.
Yeah, Jason, it's Anthony. When you meet with kids, usually you have a particular way you try to dress to create a connection there. I wanted to talk about that, but I also want to talk about the connection now and make kids want to learn, because it's so hard right now. I mean, as I've often talked about, my wife's a teacher, getting them engaged and excited. It's such a hard moment.
Yeah, it really is a difficult moment. I mean, in terms of dress, you know, I always like to show up T-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. I'm a casual kind of guy. I like to I like for them to look at me and see themselves, which I think is a very important thing. But in terms of how do we engage them in this moment, look, ultimately, I think that there is a bit of screen fatigue, and I think it is going to require us to get a little more creative. I think games work. I think we have to kind of push ourselves a bit, because just talking to the monitor isn't going to be enough. I also think we have to make sure we allow them to turn their mics on and let them do some talking. And I think that is another way to sort of keep them locked in.
You know, your book, Stamped Racism, Anti-Racism, and You, debuted at #1, Go You, on the New York Times Young Adult hardcover list. And then it rose to the top again in June. But I've heard you say that you have mixed emotions about this. What do you mean?
It's complicated, Gail. I am ultimately grateful that that book is doing whatever it is doing. I think that it is a wonderful tool for young people, especially, to help them build vocabulary, lexicon, and armor as it pertains to the conversation around race. For that, I feel wonderful about. What's complicated is trying my best to make sure that I stay focused, and that I recognize that it's easy to slip into strange profiteering spaces when it comes to these kinds of books becoming successful at opportune times. And then the other thing is, and the other thing is making sure that I don't even buy into the idea that this book can fix the problem. And what happens is all these adults have bought the book, and I'm grateful. But I don't want people to think that this book is the only answer, or is the answer to the problem of racism in America.
Jason, you've said it's probably the most important thing I'll ever make, but that you're also concerned that anti-racism will become kind of what you called, I think, a vanilla word. What did you mean?
You know, I think that what Dr. Kendi did with his research, with all the work that he did, is something that we should all be praising. I think what happens, though, when it comes to the digital zeitgeist and the sort of the way that technology speeds everything up and makes everything everything becomes a household name so quickly, is that I think that some of the zip gets taken out of some of the things, right? I remember the word woke when woke was a thing, right? And it, you know, and it was like, yeah, everybody was like, I'm woke, I'm woke, I'm woke. And then all of a sudden you realize it meant nothing anymore. Problematic is another one of those words, right? We have a way of killing language and stripping language of the meaning that and the weight that sometimes the words are supposed to hold.
So true. It becomes like a brand name almost, that as you say, has
Jason,
no real...
you're so good. Every time you come, you leave us with something to think about.
We're all nodding away over here.
Thanks.
Well said.
Well, good luck with the kids out there, Jason. I'd be really curious to see how they respond.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a light to my life, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, Jason Reynolds,
Good to
thank you
see
so
you.
much for being with us this morning. It's always a pleasure.
Yep.
And we will be right
Always a
back.
pleasure.
Stay with us.